This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good night, Joresa Blount. How are you doing on this wonderful, beautiful night?
I am doing great. I'm doing great.
It's a great pleasure to connect with you. What part of the world are you in right now?
I'm in Los Angeles.
All right. And which of your talents is responsible for us connecting at this specific time in history?
Oh gosh, which one of my talents? I'll guess that it is the talent of storytelling.
Ooh, tell us more. Who did you learn that from?
I don't know if I learned that. I think it's just a gift that was given to me. I've always been a storyteller, as far as I can remember. I was always interested into literature, into theater, plays. When I went to New York, I was a theater actress mainly. And then as I moved across to the West Coast, I got more into writing and blogging, and then eventually released a book a couple of years ago. And I still write.
What's the name of the book? Come on, you're keeping secrets from us.
I'm sorry. The name of the book is #I Chose Me, Coming Back from Heartbreak and Other Bad Relationships. It's a book about just how you could be in different types of relationships. For me, I talked about my first relationship, which was with my dad, and how that affected me. And from that to romantic relationships, friendships, and even work relationships. How do you show up due to how you feel about yourself, how you look at yourself, and how you can really start to look at yourself the way God sees you.
And what about your blog? Like, where can we find out more about that as well?
Well, I don't blog currently. I started blogging because I wanted to do some more red carpet interviews. And so I started a blog so that I could book gigs here in LA, interviewing A-listers and actresses, et cetera, et cetera. And so it started off that way. And then I started writing for other people. So that's how your personal blog kind of gets pushed to the side, because you start writing for other people. Currently, I mostly concentrate on tech journalism. So I interview a lot of founders, underrepresented founders, mainly women, men, Black women, men, about their companies and how they were able to either, find millions of dollars to support their company, or how they just got started.
That's wonderful. Tell me, why will you continue to repeat the skills that you are doing, which is not just telling your story, but telling the stories of others?
I've just always been that curious person, that curious little girl. I've always been curious about why people do the things they do. And I think also a lot of it is about me wanting to encourage myself to be able to do some things that I might be afraid to do. What I've learned from interviewing founders is that a lot of them have never ever worked in the industry that they created a company for, but they were just passionate about a thing and they wanted to solve a problem. And I mean, if that's not, if that's not encouraging, it's definitely encouraging to me to see these people say, I'm going to give my 110% to build this company. And then someone says, you know what, I believe in you. So here's $1 or $2 million to help you, with your company and to keep it going.
That's amazing. It's like what Zig said, help enough other people get what they want and you get what you want, right?
Yeah. I just love stories, It might be because I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. I think storytelling is a part of our culture in the South, but yeah, I'm just always interested in like what makes people tick, what makes them passionate, what motivates them. Especially with I had a web show a year ago, which I'll start doing more interviews this year. But it was called the Comeback Series, which I concentrated on. What was their most defining moment that they felt like was a setback, but it was actually propelling them forward. I mean, I love stories like that. So.
I as well. Tell me one other thing that you've done consistently then over the last 3 years. It could be for fun.
Consistently over the past 3 years, I am always consistently working on myself, and I mean that's fun to me. So I'm always, working to be better. I'm working to really go after my dreams, to really build a legacy. One thing that is consistent with that is having really great accountability partners. So I have one that I check in with her every 2 weeks. We do our goals. We look at our goals every quarter. We look at our overall goals. And for anyone who wants to get somewhere in life, I would definitely say get you a really great accountability partner that is also your friend, that's going to always push you forward.
How does it make you feel looking back from now to then?
I feel really, honestly, I feel blessed to be able to go after my dreams. I'm not there. I've done some cool stuff. I've had some really great moments that I've been like, wow, I'm really proud of myself. But I am I'm just grateful that I can actually get up every morning and go after my dreams. There's so many people who don't even know what they want to do, and so they don't take a step forward. They don't know, what purpose they have. They don't know. And so I just feel grateful that I'm able to do that every day.
Now, again, where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you, Joresa?
You can connect with me on social media. My handle is @JoresaB, and that's on Instagram as well as Twitter. And that's where you can find me. And if you're interested in reading any motivational articles around entrepreneurship, you can find me on Forbes.com.
Love it. Well, Joresa, let's switch gears for a moment now. Let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Joresa, what's your earliest childhood memory?
Wow, my earliest childhood memory. I think my earliest would probably be me learning to, what are those things called? Training wheels, the bikes with the training wheels. That's what comes to mind right now. I remember having the cutest red little bike with training wheels, and I remember my sister taking it to school for some type of competition or something they did with the little bikes, and coming home with a totally different one, and I cried my eyes out because I knew that was not tricycle. That's what it is. I knew that wasn't my tricycle, and I cried for hours because I was like, that's not the right one. That's what comes to mind.
How old were you in that memory?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know. What would you be, like 3 or 4, maybe? I don't know.
Why do you think this memory is so clear?
I don't know. That just literally just came to mind. I don't know why, but that's pretty hilarious. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably bring that up to my sister.
If we look at that memory and look at where you are today, how do you see that memory connecting?
Oh, that's a really good. You know what? It definitely connects. I feel like I've always been very hard on myself, and always wanting to get things, especially if I'm passionate about something, I want to get it the way I see it in my head. Like, I have to have it, and if I don't have it, then that's really hard for me to let it go. So I could see that being a connection. not, even though it was a tricycle, it wasn't the one that I had, and I wanted exactly the one that I had. And so I think that's something that, has stayed with me all of my life, of like, just, being hard on myself about things, because that's how I see a way of being excellent and being successful, is if I'm not hard on myself, then I can't expect anyone else to care as much as I do.
That's intriguing. Wow. All right. Can I offer an interpretation to the thought picture you created in my mind with that memory?
Sure.
I love the accountability, Joresa. While it was yours in this particular scenario, it was accountability that was planted in there, that even now you say you do it with a friend that you check in every 2 weeks with and every quarter on your goals. But accountability is a lot like that, right? It's having the other person know what belongs to you or what you desire, and then following up, right? And to see that you followed up on your sister for what belonged to you, right? It's really cool that you're doing that now in life by helping another person as well. So I don't see it as being selfish. I see it as being a great attribute for an individual to have.
I like that. I like that interpretation. That's pretty awesome.
You're welcome. You're welcome. If we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
Oh, I think, oh my God. I think it was Whoop There It Is.
Yeah, that's the one.
I thought about that. Yeah, Whoop There It Is. I just remember that being really popular, and like, you can go anywhere without people saying Whoop There It Is, and that was like universal. I feel like that was a good song.
Love it. All right, my friend. Well, we've arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to move pretty quickly here. You ready?
Yes.
Joresa, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Oh, yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
Not yet.
Do you believe in God?
Absolutely.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8.
All right, Joresa, if you had to share with us your own unique real statement, a statement that represents who you are, Joresa Blount, what would you say that is?
You are more than enough.
Love it.
And I tell myself all the time.
Joresa, again, such a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, in the words of my book, remember to choose yourself and choose yourself often.
Joresa, again, great pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you. This was a pleasure.
You are welcome.
This segment has been brought to you by Amazel Enterprise.